morning. It's nice to see everybody here. My name is Lindsay Connors, and I'm the Assistant Director of Sports and Wellness here at Mount St. Mary's University. I would like to welcome all of our Mount St. Mary's community of students, faculty, staff, and alumni, as well as our friends and supporters around the country joining us today for this Mindful Moments conversation. For those of you unfamiliar with Mount St. Mary's, we are one of the most diverse colleges in the nation and the only women's university in the Los Angeles area. Having dedicated my career to fitness education, I find today's conversation quite poignant. Today's message is important for all of us to hear, especially during these very challenging times. So today, we are honored to welcome Jackie Berg. As the founder of Desk Yogi with over 20 years of experience in the fitness world, she brings years of practical skill and deep personal empathy to her teachings. Working at a desk for long periods of time over the past 10 years challenged Jackie's health and general well-being. Strength training, yoga, and meditation all help to keep her fit and balanced. Now, please join me in a warm virtual welcome for Jackie Berg. Jackie, thank you for being with us today. To say we live in uncertain times is truly an understatement. That's why today's conversation, I believe, is quite vital. So now I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, everybody. Hi. Hi, everyone. I am at my Desk Yogi studios in Ojai, California, for our conversation today, and I'm really grateful to be here. I want to start with just having everybody join together virtually. I find one way to really connect in is to move together. So let's bring our hands together, and all we're going to do is just, basically it's like a dry hand wash. You're just going to rub your hands. And we're just going to all do it together at the same time. And sometimes it's useful to just close your eyes for a moment and just get all deep in there, like get the knuckles and the backs of the hands and in the little crease of the thumb and the base of the wrists. Nice. And then let's just fan the wrist forward and towards you. And as you're doing this fanning of the wrist towards you, just start to really just drop into your breathing, like breathe. You don't have to do anything with your breath, just recognize that you're always breathing. You have your own personal rhythm for breath, and then just switch and go the opposite way towards you and forward. Really fan the hands out. Let the elbows be involved, let the shoulders soften. And just be in your body for a moment. One more. Nice. And then let that end in a clasp of the hands. And then just slowly bring the hands forward as you round the back. Let the chin drop. And then like you're steering a steering wheel in a car, like lean to the right. And re-stretch forward as you come center and lean to the left. Beautiful. One more time. Re-stretch, bring it forward. Inhale, exhale, lean. Lift out of that waistline on the left side. Beautiful. Inhale, center. Re-stretch last time. Bring those hands forward. Lean to the left. Let the head drop to the side. Left ear toward left shoulder. Nice. Coming center, let the hands fall to the legs, wherever those legs are in relationship to your body. And the shoulders go back and down for 3, and 2, and 1. Let them settle down your back. Let the elbows be heavy, and let the hands and fingers be soft. Close those eyes. And now that we're all in this together, slowly let the eyes flutter open. And just come into the space. And I have an ask. I put together a little poll that is going to appear in front of you right now. If you don't mind, Susan, get that poll out there. I'd love you to answer a few questions so I can do a better job of addressing the audience that's before me. And given that 92.5% of everything we do is happening in a Zoom type room, it's interesting to really get to know people in this new way. So if you would answer these questions, I'm going to answer two. And they're not, too difficult. So, okay. All right. So just finish up now if you can, that would be great. And then we're going to look at the results together, and then the results are going to inform really what I'm going to share today, because we all experience stress, and I think it's more useful to talk about not how to avoid stress because it's there, but what do we do with it? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So as soon as those poll results are in, I know we're going to get a chance to look at them. And then we can really dive deep together into really meaningful ways to work with the stress that we face and work with what's at hand. But I'm going to continue to speak for a few minutes before those results come up, and then we can move forward. All right. So my sense is that we have a really clear understanding at this point in our culture, if we listened to the news or been a part of any exercise class at any time of our lives, we have the basic tools for stress reduction, right? We all know what those tools are, I would think. Everyone, move your body. Everyone's heard that sitting is the new smoking. I think that we're all intelligent and we all know, right? Drink water and eat healthy foods and, take care of yourself and self-care. And so there's a lot of catchwords like self-care and well-being. And now we have this new work from home life that's upon us. And now it's looking more and more like it's going to be upon us longer than we even ever expected, especially more than I expected in March. So I want this conversation to go in the direction of talking a little bit more about not what to do, but how to be with it, if that makes sense. I'd love to see the poll results. So 9% voted, which is an awesome number. Let's take a look. All right, here we go. Wow, we've got a real beautiful mix of ages, which is incredibly great. So we can really address that. We have a large percentage of women, so I don't want the men to feel left out, but that's interesting to know. I'll share a little bit about why I think that that's true. Wow, 72% of you are working from home. That's incredible. 85% of you are sitting most of the day. And 50% move every few hours. That's awesome. Big number for every hour. Wow. And the meditation part is gearing toward no, but still a really big piece. And have your overall stress levels increased since COVID? Yes, they have. All right. Well, I guess if you had asked me to guess what those answers would be, it would be pretty close to what is true for this room. So let's drop in together. I'm going to share my screen for a minute, and we're also going to move again because I'm seeing that that's something that's important, and I'm going to give you some meditation techniques as well. But I just want to share a few pieces here about, I just want to share a little bit. So to the top of my presentation, and we're going to play that. Okay, everybody. So as you can well imagine, the most important piece of a spiritual path is developing gentleness to the self. And I interpret that as self-forgiveness. One of my teachers often says that in order to truly be at peace, you have to forgive yourself several, if not dozens, if not tons of dozens times a day. And so if we have an internal self-talk that is cruel and judgmental, it can increase our stress level. So as much as we can, become aware of the language that we're using to describe our experiences and to describe how we move through the world. And so if there's anything that I can share in this talk today, it would be to cultivate kindness toward the self, especially with 90% of you answering that you're experiencing stress from COVID. We're all doing the best we can with the individual circumstances that we find ourselves in. And that might feel like an obvious statement, but I think at the same time, we tend to find compassion for others, or I can only speak for myself. I tend to find great compassion for others, but very little compassion for myself. I tend to be really hard on myself. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. Or is it just me? And as we wake up each morning and the news filters in, even if we work to not be so involved with it, and the rules change every day and the laws in the town you find yourself in shifts, and your loved ones are across the country and you can't be with them for the upcoming holidays, it can be extremely stressful. So I can only encourage some softening around the self-talk. That's a big one for me, and I wanted to share that with you because it really does reduce stress. Another great one, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with Eckhart Tolle. He's a great person to read right now. I really recommend him. Stress is caused by being here but wanting to be there. And a lot of that can come up during these, and everyone has heard the new catchphrase, uncertain times and abundance of caution. There's all of these new words that we're working with and statements. All right, I'm gonna take care of myself and drink some water. I find that, and another way to say this is like being in the present moment. Sometimes, and especially like with the holidays coming up, I can only speak for myself, the Thanksgiving plans have really shifted for my family, and we have a lot of traditions we're having to find and alter and make new. And so just acknowledging that stress oftentimes is caused by wanting to be somewhere else than where I am is just helps add a little relief to that statement. And coming into a really big one for me, and one that I'm just recently really, really adopting, is that acceptance is not agreement. When you can fall into a place of acceptance, and acceptance is really the foundation of having a softening around your stress levels. If you can accept everything as it is. My experience with my clients is when they can fall into a place of acceptance, you can really drop in to the present moment. And the key for me was acceptance does not mean agreement. So let's use the obvious of COVID. If we can accept what's happening, it doesn't mean we often agree with all the decisions that's happening around it or the pain that it's causing people. And so sometimes relevant action and taking care of the need of the hour arises from a true state of acceptance for what is. So just a little bit more of, my personal philosophy and what I've learned and practiced over the years, rather than like drink, half your body weight in ounces of water every day. Let's talk about, really diving into self-care and really diving into meaningful ways of moving through the world in these ever-changing, daily changing times. If you feel burnout, demoralized or exhausted for the sake of everyone, restore yourself. So in order to be of service to your community, to your work, to your coworkers, to your family, to your partner, to your children, you have to be a little selfish. And that selfishness could look like having some time for your personal practice in the morning or before bed. And we're going to talk about before bed really soon. or in the middle of the day, or taking what I like to call, when my kids were little, I used to take a personal timeout. I wouldn't put the kids in a timeout, I would put myself in a timeout. And for those of you on the call with children, you'll understand that if they've been home in school with you while you're working. And so whatever you can do to create a routine of self-care during these times, even if it's just 10 minutes a day, is going to have a profound impact on your daily stress levels. So again, I could say to you, meditate 10 minutes a day. But if you don't have an active meditation practice when you're already stressed, it could be really challenging to start one. And I'm going to give you some relevant tools to just drop into some stillness today that I think you'll find relatively easy to accomplish. But I think that it's interesting to just know, and the Dalai Lama is a pretty intelligent person from my understanding. If you're feeling exhausted, take the time out for yourself. And I think we're all feeling a little bit of 2020 fatigue. I've seen some really hilarious memes going on in social media that always give me a little chuckle about 2020. I'm sure most of you have seen them too. So it's good to laugh. Laugh is the best medicine. And then I want to talk before we drop into movement and meditation. And of course, we'll do a Q&A where I'll really answer your personal questions. Your day begins the night before. So as you're falling asleep, what you're thinking about, what activities you're engaging in, hour or two before you go to bed, fall into the waking up in the morning. And this is key to feeling at peace and reducing your suffering. If you are going to sleep, and I'm just going to put it out there, watching violent TV shows or very emotional media, or engaging in what I like to call, I woke up like this, social media, meaning, scrolling through InstaFace and TikTok, and you're going to have feelings of maybe not, I don't know, for me, sometimes if I see stuff on there, I'm like, it creates a little bit of turmoil internally, or just the blue screen, just the screen light. And if your thoughts are, tomorrow is going to be really stressful, like if your internal dialogue, going back to being gentle with the self, if your internal dialogue is focused on the struggle before you in the future, then you're pretty much guaranteed to have that experience the next day. I highly recommend creating a nurturing and loving bedtime routine. Even if it's just 15 minutes before bed, you let go of the screens. Even if it's 5 minutes of stretching before you lay in bed, or sending loving thoughts to a family or friends or your culture or your community before you fall asleep, more like a gratitude prayer. Even more powerful, well, it's all powerful, more impactful on your peace of mind is to hold in your vision a person that you might have a challenging relationship with, and sending them loving thoughts. That is a truly powerful practice. It's called a Tonglen meditation practice. And getting into that can be very powerful. And I can share more about that with information that the team is going to be sending to you after this event. But getting to a bedtime routine, even just 5 minutes, we all brush our teeth before bed, I think. Sometimes my son doesn't. But if we can find just that 5 minutes to just settle in before we fall asleep and imagine a positive next day, even if it feels stressful, imagine positive, like visualize positive things happening that next day. And I'm not talking about an affirmation. I'm talking about really feeling in your body. I'm thinking with your mind and feeling in your soul that the next day is going to be a positive experience. You will see a shift. For many of you students that are online all day, I know for my kids, they're on online learning from 8 to 4:35 every day, and then they have homework. A lot of screen fatigue for them. I'm sure screen fatigue for all of you. I think 85% of you said that you were sitting most of the day. You know, that can have a real weariness to it. And so allowing yourself that moment before bed of visualizing yourself, taking care of yourself is going to have a really big impact. And I don't know who Sydney Harris is. Maybe somebody does and you can share with me, but I found this quote and it's so simple. The time to relax is when you don't have time for it. And I do that, like, oh, I don't have time. Oh, my calendar's too full. I can't fit that in. I can't do that 10-minute stretch. I'm teaching stretching, but I can't stretch for myself. So I have this written actually, and I have it on my computer bag on the outside of the sleeve that my laptop goes in. And sometimes it stops me from opening up my laptop and getting right to work first thing in the morning. And I'll just like drop in for a few minutes of stretching. And so I hope that that itself is useful for you guys. And worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. So worrying oftentimes feels like you're solving a problem. And that can cause additional stress because you're worrying about something, the loop is playing in your brain, you're sitting with it, it's go, 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 but then nothing is being resolved. So the act of worrying feels like something is happening, but it really doesn't go anywhere. So with the practice we're going to do today, with a little bit of dropping into a very simple movement meditation, you'll start to feel that instead of dropping into worry, we can drop into solution thinking. And it's just a very simple way of just dropping into your breath and dropping that repetitive worry thought. And I can't ever talk about stress management or self-love or kindness or care to the self without speaking about the magic and the true miracle of living in a state of gratitude. And we've all, I'm sure, at some point in our beautiful lives come across the advice to keep a gratitude journal, or around Thanksgiving, all the media, the social messages are like, it's gratitude time, it's gratitude month, the 10 days of gratitude, 2 days of gratitude, 3 days of gratitude. Everybody's grateful. And I really want to take it away from being a catchphrase, because gratitude is really a beautiful state to live in. If you can find just one thing to be grateful for and express that to yourself, I guarantee that you're more likely to have more things to be grateful for, because what you think about is what expands. And if you can live in a state of gratitude, you'll really start to recognize even more things to be gratitude. And it's not about making a list, it's about feeling it in here in every moment. And that's part of that practice before you go to bed, and sending out loving thoughts to people in your family that you love, but also people that might be a little challenging for you to be with. So that's, I want to end with this because I think it's really important during these stressful times. And we all, I think 90%, right, was the number of people that said increased stress due to COVID for so many reasons: family, financial, the stress of being home, worry. There's so many pieces to it. So if you need help, please ask for it. Don't be afraid to reach out to a coworker, a family member, a friend, a professional, if the stress level is overwhelming and you're feeling like you're drowning in it. More than anything, you can reach out for help. People want to help you. And I'm certain that as part of the MSMU community, there's channels, professional channels to receive help if you need it. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. Hi. All right, here we go, friends. Let's do some movement and some meditation. Can you guys chat me when the Q&A is supposed to start, just so I can time out how much we're gonna be doing of this piece? All right. We started with a little movement, and I hope that dropped you into this session today. And I'm so grateful that all of you are here. And I saw that there was about 65% of the people on today that were maybe new to meditation, and then 35% had meditated before. So I want to be intelligent about what I share so it doesn't feel overwhelming. So the first piece that I'm going to share is a breath work with movement, which can be considered meditation because you're being still, you're dropping into the present moment. You can meditate as you're walking. I mean, meditation and movement is a miraculous thing. And yoga, the true, as you study the science of yoga, and if you're ever interested in reading about yoga, you'll learn in your studies that the movements of yoga, the exercise of yoga was really a gateway to meditation, to settle the mind, to settle the body, so you could sit in stillness. So I recommend movement first before you drop into meditation. All right, let's do it together. So sitting tall in your chair, you can do the standing. I prefer to sit on the floor, which I'm doing for this talk because it really works for my body. You find what works for your body. I really recommend being comfortable in the place where you work. All right, and all we're gonna do is super simple. Is you're gonna inhale and reach the arms up. Beautiful. Exhale, bring the elbows together and drop them in towards your navel. We're exhaling through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, lift. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do 5 more together. Every time, stretch a little bigger, open a little more. Let the chin really come up to the sky. Exhale through the mouth. Bring those elbows in tight. Make fists with your hands. Drop the chin to the chest. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Last one. Now everybody lift. Tuck it in, hold that breath in, hold. Hold. And release down, let the palms be open on your thighs for a minute, shoulders back and down, let the elbows be heavy, let the eyelids be heavy. And just notice your breathing. And then slowly come into the space, let your eyes flutter open and connect in. So that, just that one, it would be called a kriya of breath and movement, is sometimes all you need to reset. So if you're having a stressful moment, something's happening, you're late for a deadline of your homework for school, or you've had a stressful conversation with a family member, or you saw something on the news that's feeling really overwhelming, like remember, stop, drop, and roll. I'm telling you to sit, breathe, and move. That's it. Literally 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Incredibly impactful. I can't recommend it enough as the #1 tool to deal with immediate emergent stress. All right. Okay, let's try one more. And Gianni is saying that exercise felt really good on her back and neck, right? So it's a combo, a winning combo. You're moving your back and you're also breathing your body. We're gonna do one more kind of, I call it the mind eraser. So if you're like having this perpetual like the rabbit train, what is it called? The hamster wheel, the rabbit train. I make up my own silly little things. If you're having a hamster wheel moment of repetitive thought, or you're nervous about something, I call this one the brain eraser. So fingertips on your shoulders, okay? And you are going to inhale left through the nose and exhale right. So it's going to look like this. And close your eyes. But if you're feeling a little dizzy, leave them a little open. All right, you guys ready to try this one? I'm going to set my timer. And I recommend an app called Insight Timer that's free. And they have beautiful little bells. And so the timers are really pretty, which reduces stress. Pretty sounds reduce stress, like the opening music for this panel today. Oh, beautiful bell. Here we go. Let's do it together. Inhale left, exhale right, in through the nose, out through the mouth. 10 more seconds, friends. Good, inhale up, drop the chin, lift the hands up, jazz fingers, reach, 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 lift up through the sideways, side, 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 and exhale. Drop like a balloon deflating, sink in, and then come to neutral, shoulders back and down, let the elbows be heavy, let the fingers be soft, let the eyes close. And sit in your soupy sauce. Just feel the present moment upon you. Notice any tightness in your jaw, or the muscles under your eyes, behind your ears, and just soften and drop in. Beautiful. All right. Yes, Karen saying soupy sauce. Yeah, I love the soupy sauce of me, right? Get to know you. And then you can do it the opposite way. So you want to follow up. We did about 35, 40 seconds of that. You can do up to 5 minutes. Sometimes I practice that for 5 minutes. And then you do the other way. So I think it'd be useful when we have the time. Let's do the other way. So you're going to inhale right, exhale left. Let me get reseated on my seat here. All right, friends, get cozy. Here we go. Plus, it feels silly and goofy if you're doing this around all your friends. Well, nobody's around all their friends anymore. But if you're doing this, you can open up a Zoom with this baby. Inhale right, exhale left. Five more seconds. Good, inhale up. Drop the chin, hands up wide. Shimmy side to side. Hold that breath in, hold. Exhale, drop down, let the air come all the way out. Sink in, slump forward, do the slumpies, and then slowly, shoulders back and down, let the elbows be heavy, hands on your thighs. Awesome. All right, so those are really great kriyas that you can do when you really need to drop into the present moment and stop the mind chatter. And then I'm just going to share a brief meditation technique for you that I love. By the way, all of those are meditation techniques, okay? All right. Nancy, I see your question and I'm going to answer that, okay? Keep the questions pouring in because It'll help guide the remainder of our time together, and I think that's really important. All right. It's called boxed breathing. And it's really just a way, and I'm sure you've heard of it, of counting the breath, and it happens in 4 parts. And so we're going to inhale to a count of 6, hold for 6, exhale for 6, and hold for 6. Okay? You guys ready? Close your eyes, get cozy. All right. Beautiful. I'm going to help you. We're going to do this for just a few minutes. Here we go. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm just going to break into this moment for a minute. If 6 is too long, do 4. If 6 is too short, you can do 8, 10, 12. Really make it your own. This is your gentle practice, okay? So do it your way. Here we go. Let's do 4 more rounds together, and then I'll start answering the questions that are coming in. Please keep them coming. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. See, I just dropped so deep into the meditation, I forgot what was happening next. I meditated a lot before this session. I was listening to the beautiful music they were playing. And that's okay if you lose count. We can go right back to what we talked about at the beginning of our session together. Forgive yourself, right? You have to. The number one way to reduce suffering is forgiveness to the self. Let's do one more round together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, friends. Box breathing is a great meditation technique. I also recommend listening to music. Does that make sense? Yeah, this is my doggy. This is Mr. Bean. He's my stress reduction and my stress inducing. The other day I caught him chewing shard glass in the living room. Anyways, that's a whole nother topic. So you can see that holding that count is really just keeps you here. And sometimes it's music. There's so many vehicles for dropping into a meditation practice. There's a lot of apps that you can use. There's the app Calm, C-A-L-M. Everybody's probably been familiar with the app Headspace. Desk Yogi has some great meditations, both audio, like visual, like me and other teachers teaching, or just audio. Everyone's going to get 30 days on Desk Yogi that you'll get in a flyer later. But this is not about Desk Yogi. This is about your personal stress. So I think that I saw a question from Nancy, and I see some information from Heather I'm just going to look at right here. I'll go ahead and lead the Q&A if that works. And I'm going to start answering Nancy's question here. Are there any exercises specifically for the neck? Yes. There's some great exercises for the neck, and I will share a really cool one with you guys that I love. And it's really weird, but if you have a tight neck, so sit up straight and then just look behind you as much as you can, over your left shoulder behind you, and pinpoint how far you can look. Find that spot. All right, come back center. Place your left hand on the side of your face. Press your face into your hand and your hand into your face. Press, like really do it. Press your face into your hand and your hand into your face. Press, press, do it. Excellent, let go. Now look behind you to the left. You should have an increase in mobility. I'd love to know if that's true for you, Nancy, if you tried it. But because we have the tyranny of symmetry, you got to do the other side. All right? Look behind you to the right. Yikes, that is tight. All the way. Good, without turning your shoulders. Good, and come back center. Okay. Everyone's being told not to touch their face anymore, but I'm trusting that you're going to be safe, and afterwards wash your hands, okay? Press your hand into your face and your face into your hand, like really press. Press, press, just do it. Press out all the stress right here. Beautiful, let go, look behind you. Right, you should feel, do you feel a little bit more mobility in your neck? That's a great one. Let me see. Okay, Nancy, Nellie, yeah. All right. So that's a really cool one, and that's easy. So hopefully that will be helpful. Also, Nancy, if you get the, if you sign up for the desk yogi thing, there's like a whole series called Pain in the Neck that offers a gazillion exercises for neck relief, right? So hopefully that's helpful for you. What time of day do you recommend doing these exercises? And thank you for doing this teaching. You're welcome, Crystal. I love your name. And you should exercise when you can. I stretch, I practice, I'll just share my personal practice, which I've developed over the last 52 years. And a practice that I forgive myself when it doesn't happen. I wake up in the morning, I drink a giant cup of coffee and a giant glass of water with lemon and ginger. And then I sit down and I practice. I do movement, Kriya work that we just did, like this breath work stuff. I do all kinds of breathing. Most of my practice these days is mostly all breath work with subtle movement. I used to be more movement yoga focused. And then I meditate for 30 minutes. That's me. And then during the day, because I'm teaching, I'll automatically move when I'm teaching because I always do the movement as I'm teaching. And, you know, you have to get to know your own personal body rhythms. Like some people are night people, some people are day people. I'm an early morning person. If you're a night person, you might exercise at night. So get to know you, experiment. For some people, exercising in the evening stimulates them too much and they can't fall asleep. So Crystal, I think the big advice would be get to know you. And then you'll know when to exercise. I hope that's helpful. All right. Let's see. I will, Angel, I can share the quotes. So it is great to have them as reminders, right? Doris would like to know the name of these meditation exercises. Can I find the exercises on YouTube? I don't know if they're on YouTube with another teacher. They are on Desk Yogi. I also teach a free 15-minute Zoom class every day, Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:15. Hey, hold on. Bean, don't do that. So I can make sure that that URL gets to you guys. And so I'm going to go ahead and look at the questions. Thank you. So the answer is, I don't know if they're on YouTube, and then you can also find them on Desk Yogi. Lauren is asking, could we also have a description of the movements with the breathing? So, yes, of course, I can give descriptions. There's a lot of these sessions on Desk Yogi, but I'm happy to try and get that to you. And then somebody's asking about stress when you're in a meeting or going to a difficult meeting. Take a bio break, go to the bathroom, and breathe in the bathroom stall, right? That's what I recommend. If you're dealing with stress or anxiety during a meeting, I really recommend that you there's two things. You can take a bio break and just do some breathing in the bathroom stall. Two, you can just keep your eyes open and just focus on your breathing. So right now, if I'm feeling a lot of anxiety about speaking with all of you, I would just automatically drop into thinking about my breath. So I'd be like, inhale, exhale. And then going into a difficult meeting, I recommend doing some kind of movement with breath to be in your body. So some kind of grounding practice. If you don't have time, take your shoes and socks off and rub your feet on a carpet. I swear to God, it really helps. You just need to drop into and ground into the moment. I hope that answers your question, but strategies for dealing with stress or anxiety when you're in a meeting can be a little challenging. How can we best present these techniques to our kids? Ooh, great question. I have 2 teenagers at home. It's the power of example. It's attraction rather than promotion. If they see you doing it and they see it impacting your life positively, and you do it in the open, like where you're not hiding that you're doing these practices and you're sharing practically that it is really helping you, practice with you. And then again, with my kids, it's attraction rather than promotion. A movement for the back. Roxanne, that is such a great question. I recommend ye old cat cow. Okay, so that is placing your hands on your knees in your chair, scooching to the edge of your chair. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, round. And guess what? If your back hurts, it's usually because you need to work on your core. So another key thing to do would be to sit on the edge of your chair. And I'm going to do it seated. And bring a knee up and then another knee. So work your core. So do little chair crunches. Right? So up, up, up. Those are 2 super quick things you can do, Roxanne, for movements for the back. I hope that's helpful. What is the science behind procrastinating and not taking 5 minutes for ourselves, especially when we know something will benefit us? Such a great question. And I can only speak from my own experience. It takes a while to make a habit. And showing up is half the battle. Showing up is the whole battle. You just have to show up for yourself. So put it on your calendar and know that you're not going to like it in the beginning because it's a new habit and you're used to doing the things the way you want to do them. And change can be a bear, right? We just like things the way they're happening. So accept that you don't want to do it and do it anyways. That's my advice. Accept that you don't want to do it, put it on your calendar and do it anyways. I recommend doing these exercises. Somebody's asking, would you recommend doing these exercises in the morning or the afternoon? I recommend you get to know yourself and find out what's most beneficial for you. You are not like anybody else. You are your own individual human biosphere. And you can read about it, you can ask for advice, but until you put it into practice and experiment, you're not gonna know. I'm a morning exerciser. By 4 p.m, I'm pretty much done for the whole day. Nothing else is happening with this body. And it took me a long time to learn that, you know, especially when I was young and I'd like go to nightclubs and stay out all night and just be ruined. You know, you just have to be loving and kind and caring to yourself. And part of that is being curious about who you are and learning what works for you, right? Somebody's asking what prompted you to start desk yogi. Great question. Depression. Feeling uninspired and feeling like the Pillsbury Doughboy in my body. Sitting all day was really not good for me. I'm by nature an athlete, and I feel best when I'm in constant movement, and I lost that feeling in my corporate job. And so that's what inspired me. I was at lynda.com. We were a learning education company. And I said, well, why don't we learn about movement? Why don't we learn about self-care? And so I went to HR and they said that I could teach online yoga. And this was in 2013, 14, to the employees. And I did that. And it was really popular. And I left that job to start desk yogi because I wanted to reach everybody. So I hope that answers your question. Jackie Lopez, I'm going to save yours because I want to answer it at the very end. Okay. Josh, how often is it beneficial to get up from sitting during an 8 to 10 hour workday? 2 minutes, 10 minutes? As much as you can. I recommend you get up for 5 minutes for every hour you're sitting minimum. Get up and move. Get up and do something silly, like move, like you know, you just stand up and go, like you just gotta shake it off, you know, just shake it off. And you'll find that you'll feel better. You know, run in place for 30 seconds, like just get circulation going. And it's more of stagnation of energy. It's like shaking off the stagnation that sits in the body when you're sitting all the time. It's all mind. And so the mind becomes really detached from the body, but we're all in it together, mind, body, spirit. And so you really want to honor your body by standing up. And so put it on your calendar, Josh, or set an alarm. You have to. Yes, I will share my contact information. I think that the team is going to send it out. All right. Okay, Jackie, I'm holding on to yours. I see exercises for the glutes. Great question. I recommend if you're sitting in a chair, you get an exercise band or an ankle weight, and you can be sitting in your chair and literally just lift your leg up and down, and do like 3 sets of 10 with each leg, you know, once a day, once every other day. But guess what? Walking. Guess what? Walking. Like walking, hiking, moving your body is a great exercise for your, oh, I'm sorry, glutes. I was thinking, why am I thinking I'm like doing the wrong body part? I was thinking of quads. Okay, I can do glutes because, you know, desk butt matters and it's a thing. Desk butt is a thing. So going back to that, squats, sit up out of your chair, right? And sit back down. So I want to end, I see they want to end it. I just want to do one thing for Jackie. Give me 1 minute. Jackie, before you do any stressful meeting, before anyone does a stressful meeting, before anybody has a stressful job interview, do 3 lion's breaths, and we're gonna do them right now. This is a lion's breath. You're gonna inhale through the nose, you're gonna exhale, you're gonna stick your tongue out, and you're gonna make a ridiculous noise, like my ridiculous dog bumper. This is my favorite thing to do. I do it every day if I'm feeling stressed, especially if my teenagers are making me crazy. You go like this, which they don't, they're lovely. Okay, ready? 3, inhale. Exhale, lion's breath. Pause. Come on, you guys. 2 more, you gotta do it with me. Come on, Lindsay. Come on, inhale. Come on, do it. Exhale. 1 more, and in this last one, let go of everything that doesn't serve you in this moment, everything. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Thanks.
Jackie, that was great. Thank you so much. I would like to also thank you for sharing your insight. A lot of that information is helpful. It's helpful to understand self-care. And during these times of stress, it's quite important. I know we're all a little better for it.
Yeah.
And thank you all for joining us today. We hope to see you at our next virtual event, which is Whole Grains for the Holidays. This is taking place December 10th from 10 to 11 a.m. Our very own wellness manager and registered dietitian, Allison Halpern, will introduce you to some delicious whole grain holiday recipes. And I work closely with Allie, so she has some fantastic ideas up her sleeves. Remember, these events are free and open to the public, so be sure to join us. Again, thank you all and have a wonderful Thursday.